Hello, it is Monday, and Patrick and I are back again with another Queery Helpline fundraiser for reproductive rights because liberty includes bodily friggin' autonomy. Anyway,
one of my fingers is pointing the right direction.
So I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am a blogger, vlogger, podcaster of writing tips and writerly musings, and a fantasy author. And I love rewriting other people's queries. It's so much less stressful than my own. And with me today, as always, I have the one, the only Patrick Hopkins. Say hi to the nice people.
Hi to the nice people. Nobody knows me surprised I said that.
And he has done all of the math, all of the metrics, every posted public query that successfully got an agent has been analyzed and databased and
passive verbed.
Everything else.
Only thing I haven't really done is an exhaustive thing on bios because it's everything is a wild card there. You don't know what they don't include, so it's kind of hard to do that. But I should, because that would just I feel like people would be less nervous about people get worried about bios. All you have to say is you're a human who is in prison for murdering your teachers. It's not hard.
I mean,
really,
if that's what your story's about, then yeah, put it in there. It has that level of authenticity.
I'm not so sure we need to go own voices there, dear Morgan, dear Morgan.
Perhaps not. I like to fictionally murder people and not actually.
Yeah, see, I've done that, in fact.
So, anyway. In the comments, we have Doc and Jessica.
Hello, Doc. Hello, Jessica. I'm glad to see you guys. You got the link.
And we already have a query up and ready to go. Yay! And Fiona, the author, is going to be joining us on screen so we can watch facial expressions as we utterly rip it to shreds.
I hope that her look will not be horror, but hello, Fiona.
Hello.
Thank you for helping someone get an abortion.
So brave.
I've been waiting to say that line for a week and a half.
So brave for you to come on screen live.
Suggest yourself. I will try to be kind, but as I told you, my vision defaults to what's wrong with this thing for everything. I'm such a great parent being negative all the time. My 9-year-old wanted to come on tonight, and oh god, no. And it would have been a great showing of, if you don't want to have kids, this is a good reason not to have kids, because they get to believe everything. Anyway.
So I'm going to read the original aloud, and Patrick is going to start working.
I'm going to take off my headphones because I can't do it while she's reading it.
Totally understand.
She's going to let me know when she's ready by doing something. Like,
yep.
Whatever.
So, dear awesome agent, personalization, if applicable, Fantasy Girl is a sapphic, high-heat, dual point of view contemporary romance complete at 75,000 words. It will appeal to fans of the Shameless series by Rosie Danan and the movie Hustlers. Grace's entry-level marketing job imploded. Her savings are drained, but damn it, she's not moving back in with her parents. So she becomes a dancer at Fantasy, the strip club outside her hometown. It's only meant to get her back on her feet, but as she racks up cash under virtuosa stripper Jade's wing, their business relationship combusts into an intense new romance. If Grace takes her money and bails, she'll lose her heart in the bargain. After Jade's latest relationship ends in yet another partner's jealous meltdown, she's given up love. Jade is at her best, draining wallets at Fantasy, and resigns herself to a solitary life until Grace walks in. Jade teaches her the ropes out of mostly pure kindness, but as Grace blossoms into a knockout, Jade knows she's hurtling toward heartbreak again. Grace is only passing through, though, while Jade lives and breathes hustle. And after mimicking love for years, Jade's not even sure she'd recognize the real thing. As their teamwork heats up, they draw the attention of the club's homophobic highest earner and the greedy manager desperate to keep his star happy. Jade can only protect Grace for so long, and as the demands of the job put their budding relationship to the test, Jade's quote-unquote first rule of stripping might prove true. Only suckers fall in love at the club. This story draws heavily from my experience, from my personal experience as a sex worker. The world needs more grounded sex worker narratives, and our lived experiences are so often condemned and catastrophized. In 2020, I was selected as Pitchfork's mentee with a previous novel, and I currently work as a freelance writer. Thank you for your time and consideration. Trigger warnings: homophobia with one brief episode of violence. Main characters are okay. Sex work in a strip club setting and explicit sex scenes. Thank you for sharing with us. Let's see if I can get Patrick's attention.
Is it my turn to, are you stopping? Okay, good. I saw something move in the background. And I'm like, that's not it. Okay.
I blinked the document up and down, and I thought
okay, that was yeah. My vision is actually based on movement, but like I use, when I apply for jobs, I say my vision is based on errors, because it really just, I mean, I've been reading for this stuff for 15 years. Well, more than that, but we're pretending. Okay.
Does that make you a predator or prey if you have movement based?
Well, if you're a comma splice, it makes me a predator.
I mean, I would totally be a comma splice.
You would be a noun, Morgan. Don't even lie. But a comma splice is a noun, so it works out. Okay, all right. So I've gotten, this is mostly clean, which I feel kind of bad for saying, because I usually just rip these things apart. Teamwork heats up is decentered. It's not always bad to decenter, but it's not.
Okay.
I explained that in that second highlighted thing there.
I just checked. We're sitting with the trigger warning line at 352 words.
Okay,
so...
we're gonna get this. That's fine. I don't know how much you know, so I assume you know nothing, and that way I'll repeat things instead of saying things that you don't understand. I routinely get queries back when I work them at 200 or so. The problem there is the world building is terrible, because people don't know what's important within their book, because they think everything matters, and everything can't matter. You can't do that.
It all matters in the book, just not in the query.
But you can't. It's like getting a sample plate at a buffet. You can't have only beef with broccoli, right? People don't know, so they just have everything, and they have a plate that's this high, right? But it's like half buns or something.
I mean, some of us struggle with portion control. We want everything.
Yes, Morgan. Anyway, moving on, not to nouns. So I blow the thing up to 350 because I need to see the world enough that I can boil it down to what actually matters. Repeated elements, for example.
Yeah.
And so 350 starting out, we're fine. We'll get down to, how low do you want to go?
Me?
Yes, yeah. You, not Morgan, you.
Oh.
I don't care what Morgan wants.
I don't know. This is my first not fantasy novel I've written. So
okay, that's fine. For romance, I would think the standard sub 250, Morgan.
Probably. With a romance, you do have that dual point of view, so that might have it trickling up.
But this isn't dual POV.
300. Okay.
This is the book is dual POV. The query itself is one. I'm pretty sure, right, Fiona?
No, we had the whole paragraph on Jade's.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's still doable though. I've seen 4 POV done at 200. You just have to focus, honestly. But again,
usually you pick 1 or 2 when you have a multiple point of view, even if you have 5 or 12 characters. But 2 is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Especially for a romance where you're expected to have that give and take.
Okay.
I think Grace's is pretty tight, but I think Jade's might be able to tighten up a bit.
Late introduction there. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Patrick, I have a question.
I have an answer. Let's see if they match.
Okay. In Jade's paragraph, we talk about her relationship ends and she's giving up and she resigns. Whereas with Grace's, we're talking about the beforehand. It imploded. They are drained, past tense. Should the setup for Jade's be past tense instead of present?
But you want to go present or you can.
Okay.
The exception for romance can have fantasy and romance both have more leeway for backstory. And if something happened, then you have to do past tense. I worked something once where the first paragraph was all backstory because it was all crucial. You had a guy moving after losing something, and someone else moving after doing something. You have to have that, right? Because and then the author told me the book started with them meeting each other and discovering they were living in the same apartment. They didn't know each other, but all that setup matters. But the past is the past should be the past. Okay.
Yeah, the book starts at the second sentence of Grace's,
Okay,
and then Jade's POV, I think, starts at the second sentence of, or she's giving up on love. That's about where she opens.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Thank you. We can. It's not you. I've got a fly that's irritating me. It's a noun irritating me, Morgan. Please bear in
mind. Verbs can't happen to nothing.
Go.
Verbs can't just verbify without a noun to verbify on.
Edit.
Or by.
Have I used a noun yet, Morgan? Okay, cool.
Yeah, my noun in that sentence was noun.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. You're in luck, Finn. The bio is the least the part we need to work on least, but as it happens, because I was angry at something. Some people get angry and they flamethrow things. I get angry and I research. So I just on Saturday gathered a list of queries from my compendium, which Dr. Carissa Taylor, collected over several years. She now has children and can't do that anymore, by the way. But I had 450 some in a document, and I gathered all the mentorship language I could find, and that is now on my resources page. So when we get to the bio part of this, which is the least troublesome part, I can look at those and just go down through the Pitchforks ones. I think I have them all. Because people don't know how to do this stuff, and Googling isn't a skill to everybody. The number of people I see, right, rant over, we're working with a query, not being angry at the world.
Quick question. Is it better to have the strong verb of work, I work as a freelance writer, or is it...
It doesn't matter.
Or would it be more straightforward
my preference,
I am a freelance writer?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
In that area, because you're not because it's not the characterization there, honestly.
Right.
The only thing I would say there is if you have a deeply energetic verb, I bounce all the time as a whatever versus I am a pogo stick tester, right? That would be showing your personality, but work and I would honestly go for brevity there, which I know surprises you so much. All right. Okay.
Are we going back up to the top?
That's where I start. Okay.
You were down at the bio. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Okay. I don't know the Shameless series. Do you know the Shameless series? I think I've seen that it got turned into
the roommate and then the intimacy experiment.
I don't know what year is it though.
Last year, I think.
Okay, that works. I don't. My great weakness in these things, I don't read a ton of books because I hate the language, and I can tell within about 8 lines of a book if I'm going to hate it or not. So why keep reading? I have no interest in romance at all.
Or fantasy, or
the books I read are picture books for my kids. So I know Shameless. I know Hustlers. I think. Unless I'm thinking of Hustler, which was a different thing, maybe. I don't know.
No, that's a magazine. Hustlers is the
yes, but there was also that's the people Hustler. That's right.
Or so
anyway. Okay, so the Shameless is probably fine. Hustlers, I need to find out when that was done. I have actually done research on this, not on the movie, but 19. That's fine. You are there. every agent is different. Obviously, some agents don't want movies at all,
2019.
and
so
some, yeah. So there, for the ones you can research this, it will help you some. But there are a lot of agents who just don't care. I saw my favorite thing about comps. Backstory here is fun. I was reading an article about comps, and it quoted several agents who are pretty known, and they had unrelated views on what makes a good comp, which was fantastic, because if you tell me that it's all pointless, I can tell everybody else it's all pointless. That one of those agents said, do not comp a bestseller book, especially if it's been made into a movie. And 4 minutes later, would you like to know what book I saw in a query that got representation? I will tell you, it was Coraline. So,
I mean, I regularly cosplay from Coraline.
That
But
is,
I don't query
I'm
it.
so glad I don't have a mental image of that, because we would be so heavily distracted. Anyway, it's all different. It's all stuff you want to research for the agent, because this is a business document, right? And you don't want to comp a movie if the agent hates that. So have fun. If you get anxiety, I so pity you, because you will be stress balling yourself off a cliff. All right, back to the query, and away from me hating comps because they're ridiculous. Okay, this first sentence is good. I mean, this reads like a successful query. Some people, not you, but some people would have begun this with Grace is becoming poor. And like, okay, cool. What does that mean? Is she no longer eating caviar all the time? Or has she run out of tuna? We don't know. What is, okay, anyway. So we have clear characterization here. We have world building here. And you have shown the situation very well. So congratulations, because solidly 99% of writers with that first sentence. So good job. Which I never say. Yes,
it's
Morgan?
character centric, and it tells us the stakes. First sentence right there.
Mm-hmm. And it has verbs. Imploded is a lovely verb. Drained is, well, that's actually a predicate adjective, but moving back in with is good.
Imploded is a beautiful verb. I enjoy verbs too.
Liar.
I do.
Which is a noun.
I mean, not as much as I enjoy a good comma splice, but I mean.
Your mother, Morgan, honestly. Okay. Combusts. Good. Fails. Okay. The only thing I would say here is, if it's the book, takes could be stronger. It's not wrong, but combusts, racks up, bails, right? And then takes in there is weak. It's not a big problem, but if that's the book, and you know this is the book or not, which is why you're here.
Take some.
It's not a huge concern, honestly.
Yeah, it's not really giving up if she succeeded. So. Yeah.
Okay. Now the reason. Let me point out one thing here. After. Okay. Oh, the decenter thing. Okay. You see the note I have up here with "it's only meant."
Mm-hmm.
So, beginning a sentence with a pronoun that has no clear noun is a bad idea, number one. Because we're like, what's it? Number two, everything possible that is centered on Grace, like that she does, should be centered to her with the language too. So this right here, this thing right here, you see what on the note I said, be centered?
Yeah.
I don't know how common this term is. It's something I developed for this, basically. But basically, we need to have all the language focused on her where relevant to keep punching the reader with her. Makes sense? And then only thing I need to Because when you tell me it's only whatever thing, modifiers like that actually tell me something else is about to happen, and that just it makes the reader's eye move basically to the next comment to see what actually happens. Just like in this next one I have after blah blah blah. Never do that. Bad idea. It's something I discovered after reading queries. Factually, I've edited 1,600 of them, and I've read 400 successful ones. And you really have to do that much work to figure out how people are doing this. And I've been doing this for 6 years. It's lots of fun. Yeah, and Morgan's been doing it longer. And she's still addicted to nouns. How about that? Okay, so can you go in and write something in here instead of it's that centers on
Yeah.
Grace? Okay.
Good job.
And ideally a strong verb, but we can work on that.
Stripping's only meant to get her back on her feet.
No, that's Jaren. And our last noun is hometown. So double penalty for Morgan. Mute yourself for no, I'm joking.
Go
ahead.
Who doesn't love a good gerund?
Rebellion?
Rebellion is a noun. No.
I'm sorry. I have a really soft spot for gerunds after the time Mom made me do grammar exercises over the summer out of her college textbook on gerunds.
That is so many nouns, Morgan, and that just told me that was going to be a bad story.
I mean,
is it hard
a story about me having to do grammar worksheets over the summer. It wasn't going to be full of verbs.
Oh, yeah, that works.
Yep. It's placeholder, but I mean, the thing again, you have 75,000 words in your head competing all the time to get in, and for that one sentence, you probably have 4 pages of material on that or more. I don't. I have one word. It's way easier for me to resolve the traffic jam in my head, which doesn't exist, than if you go, I don't. Ignorance is actually bliss in my case. Because I don't know the book, I don't want to. The less I know, the happier I am, and the more I can help you. You probably hadn't heard this story. I was working with someone, and we had her query really good, and she's like, "Also, there are ghosts." And I'm like, "No. We don't need more world building. We're fine. We have something coherent. It's great. It's short. It's fantasy, which can just blow up so fast. And it was 220, which for fantasy is really good. So no. We don't need no. Stop. Okay, so okay, that's fine. Now not fantastic, but better than meltdown is you don't want meltdown to be a noun. It's just because the process of things that happen are exciting or things you want to like show. Murder is one that I really hate. After the murder of no. After she is found murdered, blah 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 blah. Right? Meltdown, same thing. Escape, kidnap, things like violent, big, dramatic stuff. You want to give us the imagine it as sort of a reality show where people are competing to be most dramatic. We want the camera on the drama. See, and now I on the drama. See, if that had been a verb, I'd been fine. Morgan and I really will go back and forth on this on nouns and verbs for 3 hours. Yeah, we've done it before.
So I've been doing an edit of my own book right now, and I've been trying to get rid of all of the INGs, but you're making me feel like they're not that bad.
Oh, they really are. They're terrible.
But let me tell you, I have cut down probably a couple hundred of them.
Good. Keep going.
So
the bad thing about gerunds, number one, if you begin a sentence with them, like remember that hometown thing we had up here? Okay. That's your noun. So the reader is rooted in that noun. If you have a gerund X, the reader thinks that hometown is doing the thing, which is what's the word for it? Distracting, I guess. Look, a gerund. I see them incredibly infrequently in queries. More often you see the character noun beginning the sentence because you want to see she does this thing, she does this thing, she does, whatever else, all that stuff. right? You want to prompt the reader with action. A gerund doesn't do that, especially to begin with one. And what I also see people changing character at the end of a long gerund. I'm talking like a line-long gerund phrase. We don't know what's happening anymore.
I removed over this weekend 435 instances of the word that from my manuscript.
You removed
It's
nouns,
impressive.
Morgan. How good for you.
94 instances of the word just. 39 instances of started, probably started too.
Okay. Fiona, would this
Yes?
ellipsis be better as an M dash?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hooray! I did it! I love these. I have to stop myself from using 7 on a page. And
I tried
Because
to
it's-
limit
it's-
one per page and never two in the same paragraph,
See,
unless
it's-
it's like on
it's-
either side of us.
it's like swearing. The more you do it, the less it works. Because okay, you gave me space. Okay, you gave me space. All right, and but then it's one. Oh, look, space. The final frontier. Okay. Okay. Do I want that? Yes, I do. I want. Okay, so as is one of those words that tells something else about to happen. And I want the focus to go back to Jade here, so we're going to keep that telegraphing adverb in there. Okay. Yes. Okay, this here.
Wait, why can't Jade date a non-stripper?
Oh, honest answer, it's really hard.
I mean,
It's between the hours and
yeah. So just, if she stops stripping, they have to break up.
I would imagine that social expectations and stereotypes might play a tiny role. As someone who is not in that business, I have friends who are in it, who are in the sex industry. One by choice, the other not. And that seemed weird. A friend of mine a long time ago decided to become a sex worker. Which is the way to get into it, I think. She was in her probably 20s or 30s. She was in it for 18 months and then got out because she had the experience. Another one was accidentally outed 20-something years ago and was kicked out because he was living in a conservative area and still needed to eat, still needed a roof, and so he became an escort. That was fun. And that's the cleanest version of the story I can tell.
I'm very proud of you for.
Well, no. He was because sex work can lead to substance abuse because you're miserable, and he was doing heavy drugs because he was 17 and surviving.
Also, because 17 is not necessarily known for long-term planning.
Should I continue or not?
No, we're good.
Okay. I can't read. I can read Morgan's face, but Fiona, you're a complete mystery. So I don't know if you're hiding emotion or not.
Oh no.
Okay, cool.
Oh. It can, just because, if you're young and you suddenly come into way more money than you've ever had,
Yeah.
Drugs are one way to spend it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay. Is this their teamwork heats up but they draw or and they draw the attention?
And?
And okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I misread that on the first read through. I did not see the club's homophobic highest earner.
Yeah.
I, for some reason, saw the club's homophobic highest client payer, and that's totally not what it says.
Well,
And now-
I'm not sure. Okay. So this is a sticky
Ire? Maybe
situation.
they draw the ire?
So
Do you
that's
like
not
the
what-
word ire?
I'm
you wanna
sorry.
do it then, but but it's kind of, it might be useless because the more weight you give that noun, Morgan,
Mhm.
but here's the trouble, okay, is you have a bunch of stuff after that that works perfectly fine, and if I change that attention into a verb, I have to blow the rest of that sentence up, and I'm not sure it's worth it.
Ire defines as anger, so that could be a noun.
Everything could be a noun in Morganland. I have seen sentences where you have a little bit of a thing, and
Ire is a noun,
and you continue with it. Yes, I know. What do I hate, Morgan?
but you just said we couldn't replace it with a verb.
If we replace it with a verb, we have to recast the sentence, and the rest of it is fine.
Right.
Okay. We're
If you
talking.
hate ire, that's fine. It's
She
just what
likes
popped
ire.
in my head.
And I think that she is right to like ire, because when I have that word after that, ire is a good word there. I have seen sentences where there's a little thingy, and you leave it alone because the rest of it works really well. In one case, it was a passive verb. Morgan is not surprised that I remember this. It's just everything works after that. You're like, if you change, you have to flip the entire thing, and it's like not worth it. So for now, I will allow this noun to live, even though I am inwardly screaming that a noun has become important.
It'll keep you up tonight.
Yes, it will. I'll imagine her DMing me, going, so that noun, I got 18 form rejections. Are you sure about that now? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm going to take a tiny sugar break and eat on camera.
Ooh.
Because, yes, I have myself a bowl of frozen blueberries.
Nice.
Morgan and or Fiona, where do we have her protecting Grace before? Is this the teaching for the ropes thing? Because I don't. Because my initial thought is that's a late introduced plot element, which I would like to ban by judicial fiat.
Under the wing is implies
okay.
she's protecting her.
Okay, where's the wings? Teach the ropes? Okay.
Grace's bit.
Okay, cool. That works. Okay. Oh yeah, right, up there. Okay, good. Because sometimes I get so animated about verbs that I forget nouns like wing, for example. And so I need to be reminded that I am actually not remembering something.
So I understand why you might want to take out the word though, but this sentence doesn't make sense without it.
Where?
Plus, Grace is only passing while Jade lives
through.
Oh, I saw it. Okay,
Okay, you were just a little.
I thought it said though is the thing, and though is a word that tells you something else about to happen, and thus I hate it because, as you know, if it's not a verb, I hate it.
Right.
Most adverbs, as, but when, stuff like that tells you something else about to happen is a bad idea.
So I have a question about timeline words like after and now and plus and that sort of thing.
Now is not that awful because it still sends you in the moment, but after, no. See, okay, look, right here, as their teamwork heats up, you're telling me that something else is about to happen. Don't do that. Give me the intensity of them heating up. Although you're going to decenter me here. And then ruin it, right? You can't go down unless you've gone up already, right? Because as telling something, I mean, it's just, you're telling up the page. And in fact, I taught that query class in January. This was a lesson that I had in there, and I'm sure it was new to everybody. But all 11 reviews, people were happy. So I'm right, haha.
So
which is a very mature. Yes, Morgan.
Morgan's instinct with nouns would have been something like, as their teamwork heats up, they draw the ire.
Yes.
Or
thank you, Morgan, for that contribution.
I'm just letting you know what some people's instincts might be, and that you need to fight it.
You know what's interesting about queer editing, Morgan? Everyone has an opinion. I have listened
but
to.
Yours is statistically correct.
I mean, I've listened to many people do queries on live stream, and I've concluded that they should all listen to me. Which, as a white guy, I know totally surprises both of you. What are the odds of a white guy insisting he's right on the internet?
The power of statistics.
That must be the word.
This shall be your query.
Okay, so we do have teamwork heats up is decentering because we could be focusing on Grace and Jade themselves.
They're a lust, a fuel.
Nope. So decenter. There, anything THEAR, you're decentering even more, right? Because you're using there at that point. Their lust, whatever, that becomes an adjective, which is like a level of hell under or above, whichever is worse, nouns. I haven't read down testing for small nouns. I really do get like this about nouns. In my defense, they do nothing. Okay, so while you're thinking about decentered language there, something for the as they blah blah blah, whatever, kiss or something, or start wearing glitter or whatever. It doesn't matter, honestly. I just need to play some language so I can work out something better. Okay, the job. Where are you on this thing? You're up there, okay. I don't know, it's Mink. No, it's not you. Are you still on this thing, Fiona? I don't see your.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm thinking of something that could go there.
Let me do a place. Let me do a thing again.
Makes sense to people who were never strippers.
Like me.
Hair's dancing is fucking awesome.
I don't have the legs for anything else. Sorry.
I'm just assuming that they're dancing together and it's so freaking hot that they start rolling in the cash. Because
what they do actually is run doubles, which is they go up to guys together and they sell it as like a double, and it's a specific thing.
Okay, I have an idea for that. Okay, 2 times is a bad thing.
Pair up.
Okay, I'm getting all the bad, like I'm getting the 2 girls 1 noun thing there, and I just can't use that. That's just a bad. And 2 timing doesn't work. And like there's a whole redhead thing that I can't use at all. This is, and I'm so glad that that's what I couldn't use because it's gonna confuse everybody.
It's a wrestling term, clearly.
I know, and it's bad because somebody's gonna hit in the face with a chair. They start. Oh. Does that work? Enticing guys?
No, it sounds a little like. I don't know the word. I mean, yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah. It's, as a verb, teaming up is sort of sedate, which I don't love.
Yeah.
But I don't see, my knowledge of verb doesn't include a whole lot of sex work. Because I was raised Catholic, I'm sorry. So I'm a little stunted in some things. I'm not Catholic anymore. No. My purity test score went from 6 to many. Oh, there you go. Good job. Good. Yes.
How about that?
There, yes.
Does that make sense to people who?
I mean, hustle. I associate less with sex and more with.
I've already used it.
You also put it in with con man, and strippers kind of not really con, but they totally hustle.
I get the feeling of some sort of economic disadvantage here for the person they're targeting.
But we did just use that verb noun in the previous sentence or paragraph. So I'm wondering if there's another word we can.
Which word? Hustle. Yeah. Two girl. Thirst trap.
Okay.
Would that work, Fiona? Thirst trap?
Thirst trap?
Yes.
On Instagram, but sure. Yes.
I mean, I'm happy I came up with a verb that wasn't redhead. So.
Yeah, no, thirst trap is fun.
Okay. Okay, that's the job. Okay. What is for? Okay. No, I think we're good.
All the verbs for hustle or con are hilariously 1920.
Oh, goody.
They bamboozle.
As they Buster Keaton, it's true.
They hoodwink.
No.
They swindle. They
bamboozle.
Swindle.
Hornswoggle.
They turn it into a boob.
Griff.
You might have to say Calvin Coolidge, lady. Okay, so. All right. The stakes here sort of wither. So we don't have her making a decision, which you don't have to have. Most agents prefer it. A lot of queries use it, but a lot don't. You need to have. First of all, for the first little stripping to hit hard with us, we have to see it earlier. And for us to see the second to last line of the query is not a great idea. Is the book sort of based on Jade's rules of stripping or not?
No.
Okay, cool. Then we can toss this.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It would go great in a blurb. I don't know how much.
Only if it was visible in the first chapter, though, really. But that's it. Okay, so we need to change this. Okay. This query comes on the first third of the book, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Every time I forget to ask that question initially, it's a word. Okay, so what decision or thing does Jade face in the first third, launching the second third? We also need something for Grace. So let's just.
I mean, Jade's risking her heart, her poor, damaged, bruised heart.
Okay, just must decide whether to. Grace must decide. You can have it be together. They have to decide whether they want to pursue this thing and risk their jobs, or whatever else. Or you can have it be different. I've seen it done both ways. It's just a matter of, being good, for lack of a better,
They have to decide if they can keep their relationship and their job.
The benefit of having Fiona here is that Fiona knows her book, and Fiona
I know, right?
Good.
It's.
You can even go down to the sentences I started for you here and fill them out, and then I can use them in the stakes area. Because this right here, can't use it.
What happens in the book I just wrote?
This is a constant question that people have trouble with. On the bingo card, of the writer bingo card, the free square is you cannot remember anything that happens in your book.
No, I have no idea what happens.
Like, you can tell me what kind of shoes she wears, but plot? What's that? Here, have an emoji instead. Listen, I gotta get these untwisted. And again, it's because you have so much stuff in your head about your books that any one word has trouble coming through. So you're trying to grab a pickle out of the jar. They're all there. You can't. Grace was going to leave the club because she just wanted money, right? Is that a part of the stakes for her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is, you know, the romance thing of, oh, this is only a temporary thing.
Okay.
We swear. This is going to end soon. Definitely. And then the other part is, you know,
is she
Grace thinks she's not.
Keep going, Phil. Ignore Morgan.
Go ahead.
There's a whole, like, Jade thinks she's not put together enough for Grace, and Grace thinks she's not cool enough for Jade.
Okay. Okay. Well, in that case.
Is
so
Jade
I can do it combined. Shut up. I can do it combined. Lost it, damn it.
I said Jace instead of Jade or Grace. Is
Jace.
Grace hiding her job from friends and family?
They're not in the query, yes. Morgan. They're not in the query.
I'm just thinking of potential stakes.
Okay, Morgan, entire plot you just want to introduce?
You asked about stakes.
If you want to rewrite the thing using a new plot, Morgan, that is a whole other live stream that I don't co-host because no. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. This is hold on. Job.
So how did y'all two meet at work? Oh, what did you do?
Yeah.
I show my
that
breasts
conversation.
Fiona, you said something about Jay didn't think she was cool enough or put together enough.
Grace, yeah. Jay didn't think she was put together or professional or successful enough for somebody who has a more traditional career.
Placeholder. All of us placeholder.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea of an option you can get. Okay, that's that's introducing new plot elements. We haven't had Grace worrying that she's not cool enough yet.
But we also haven't had Jade worry that she's not refined enough.
That's yeah.
So you were harping on me for introducing plot elements while you were typing new plot elements.
Mine aren't as these characters don't exist yet as yours are. All right, lady.
Yeah.
So let's see. We have the money trouble disappears in the second paragraph.
I don't think so. We're talking about raking in the cash.
Right. She needed money, and then she was going to leave. We have her getting money. We don't have her thinking about leaving.
She could leave, but she doesn't because girl.
Okay. Can you put that language in somewhere where it fits, and then we can massage. Use verbs, please. If you can, but if you can't, I can.
I thought that was kind of in that last sentence.
Yeah, that's that first paragraph, right?
It's
I'm
right
talking
there.
about the Jade paragraph, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, I see. You're fine. Okay. Yeah, I was.
It's okay.
Yeah, I shouldn't tell you that. Yes, last week two of the kids were home from daycare with me all day.
And everybody lived.
Everyone lived, Rose.
So
Everyone
proud
lived.
of you.
But I'm recovering from that still.
Yeah.
So, okay,
That's rough.
fine. Okay, that's good. Okay, then we need the money note in here. You said Grace had the money to leave?
Yeah.
Goodness. As again, placeholder.
Doc from the audience asks, is Jade afraid that Grace will leave if she makes enough money? That's her stated intent. So I believe.
Yes. Not really afraid. Is it like she so she kind of figures it's going to happen and she's powerless to stop it. It's not so she's
yeah. I would assume that
it's a weird romance thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're like, oh well, we're having fun now, but then he has to go back to Bermuda or like whatever.
Yeah.
And then that never happens.
I just kind of figure strip clubs are kind of like restaurants where some people do it for a season or two and some people are lifers. And
yes,
so
it's very much that. And she's season or two, and then Jade is lifer.
So Jade's a lifer, and she figures Grace is, got her shit too much together and would never be a lifer. I'm picking up on that.
Yeah, that again with unintroduced plot elements, Morgan.
I read too much in the genre.
I don't read any in the genre, and that's why we're on target with this query.
Ooh, is there any self-sabotage to get Grace to stay?
Could someone please introduce Doc Coleman to the noun unintroduced plot element?
Element of self-sabotage.
Thank you for the nouns, Doc.
Wait. I have an answer.
Oh God. Is it a noun?
It's called, you'll have to wait for the book to come out and read it.
I like that answer because it doesn't require me to remember if that's
good. You can use an emoji to the plot. Okay.
Although I think we have a synopsis coming up, so.
Do we?
Oh.
Is
no,
okay.
No,
because Fiona told me that her synopsis is kind of a disaster and that she didn't want help with that.
It's really bad.
It's
fine.
totally fine because you're here to answer these questions. See, if we didn't have you, we'd have to read the synopsis for it, and that's where hope goes to die.
Oh yeah, no, don't do that.
No, I don't. I won't. I promise. No,
please don't.
You won't give it. Don't ask. Don't tell. Don't pursue. That's the whole. Yes. That's.
What's a synopsis?
It's a Greek word that means all hope dies here.
Right.
I'm good at them because I don't know the book, but other people are like,
never ever 2 pages long. 2-page synopses don't exist.
Go ahead, Morgan. Do your thing.
Okay. Fiona, do you want to know why 2-page synopses don't exist?
Why?
Because in publishing, anything under 1 page is single spaced and anything over 1 page is double spaced. And do you know what happens when you double space a 1-page synopsis?
What will happen?
If-
What will happen?
It
Tune in
turns
next
into a
time.
2-page synopsis, which should have been a 1-page synopsis. Okay, I got it out of my system.
Thank
Until
you,
next
Morgan.
time.
Yes. All right.
Thanks for
Now, the
playing
reason
along.
that the stakes matter so much is that a good query, introduces a couple plot elements in the first paragraph or two in this case, and then continues them through the stakes. Otherwise, you have disconnected crap where things don't make sense and don't tie. Because you want to be building. Hold on, water break.
You want everything to be on the page and nothing implied.
You have to. No, that's not why. You want to build plot up. You want to maintain narrative arcs in the query and keep building tension, but the same stuff piling up on itself, right? Red and blue, red and blue, red and blue, right? For something to suddenly be brown is inorganic to the plot, okay? So the stuff about money is Grace's motivation, right? And she's clearly making enough money, so now she has to decide whether she wants to quit because she has the thing that she wanted to go in for is what she got, right? But the unexpected thing is the other part, right? See, if Grace has suddenly adopted a puppy in this paragraph, that would be inorganic to plot, right? Now she has to decide whether it's puppy, but no, that's not what we're focused on, right? So we have to introduce Grace's money concern first, right? Are you tired? You okay?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, good. All right. I overanalyze facial expressions as part of my role as an anxiety gay. But we have Jade. We introduced Jade's pessimism generally, so we are using those narrative arc elements in the stakes. That makes sense. Now, in the book, you'll have other concerns like Grace's family saying, "Oh, no, you can't do that. OnlyFans and other things are immoral." That might happen. We don't need it, right? There might actually be a puppy. We don't need it. We have enough here, right? All right, let's see. Can you delete things we don't need anymore so we can get a good idea of where we can start shopping, assuming that you like where we are right now with the plot stuff?
Yeah, I like it.
If I won't
to
shop before we get it.
Bounce in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, start shopping. Start deleting things
Okay.
that we. Yes, and I'll try to blowtorch the thing down to 250.
Gotcha.
Yeah. 4. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes, good. Good. That was a big one.
And then leave stripping before anyone finds out. Sorry. Not adding plot element, not adding it.
Okay. I'm gonna this one up here. This one. Please, Fiona, I'm up here. I need you. Please help me.
What?
Yes, right here. This one. This collection of letters. Words that please delete this. Thank you.
I got it.
Yes, yay.
There. She's getting there. Eat some blueberries.
It's not an issue of that.
Okay.
247. Hooray.
Boom.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, right?
That's
it turns out we need to delete 80 words at the bottom.
Any query I've ever written.
Okay. If we don't get to the bio type, which probably won't, we can know that privately because it's a very easy thing to do.
Especially since it didn't need much work, I think you said.
No, the pitch was thing. I just want to make sure that the language is clean.
Sure.
And it's just general anxiety of that because I just did that research and I have it there. But the stakes and all that is distinctly more important than a little bit of language in bio. Because the bio, you're not going to lose it on front of bio. You're not going to lose it a request unless your bio has something awful like I like to kill squirrels in my spare time, you're not going to lose a request on the Bible. It just doesn't exist. She's off.
So do so's not get commas? I thought so's got commas.
Depends.
Oh, okay. So it's not.
Yeah, it's people. A lot of people think they know the rules about commas, and they really don't. I would give you an example, but she has to leave in 3 seconds, so I won't.
Nope, that's fine.
Good. Combust, I'm not sure I love that verb. I think the strength of it's great, but I think that there's a combust has an element of destroying things, and I'm not sure that's what you want. Sparks is weaker.
Ignite.
Ignite, there you go. Yeah, ignites. Ignites and intense romance. We don't need new at some point. Bargain is not a great word for that, but it's secondary to other stuff.
Do we need an intense if it's igniting? Their business relations ignites. Oh, no. Yeah, we do. Sorry.
It continues the concept.
Yep.
So that was past tense. Jesus. That's decided.
I thought decided to was filter language.
Process language.
Process. Sorry.
Yeah, that is. I just need to figure out how to.
She's determined.
Process language is like she gets in the car and goes somewhere. We don't use a car unless there's some amazing thing about the car. Don't need it. She's.
I have an idea.
Do it.
Do it.
Simple.
That works. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. I agree. Maybe.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, fixed it.
I love a good whereas.
It also shows, if you want to, it shows Jade is not just a stripper. I'm
like wondering if it's she's not sure she'd recognize or she's not sure she can recognize. I don't know.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because recognize speaks to ability. It's fine. It's a verb. Why would we want? You're not here for verbs, You're here for nouns.
I've been rearranging commas all weekend. So
I rearrange anyway.
I got through 170 pages this weekend. Sorry. I was excited.
Oh, it's exciting. Oh, I cut 500 words of just from a friend's book, and I was so pleased with myself.
They must go somewhere. Like, imagine there's just a pile of just somewhere from that many drafts.
Right next to my 500 bats. Maybe there are a couple. They're
if
just
if
that
they
couple.
Imagine, if you will, a world where all those words unite to try to like revolt, but there's no verbs in there. and there's no real nows. So they sit there being an imaginary pile of menace because they can't do anything. Oh, with filter words they could though.
No. They could only seem or realize or think. They can't actually do anything.
They could feel something. They could feel getting very attacked, but they can't do anything.
They can know something.
All right. Let's see. This is at 2:40s. It was 2:38. Even better.
Sorry.
You're good.
Aha. That's awesome.
You have to go in like 3 seconds, right?
Yep.
You said you had to bounce at 57. And it's now 1:05, so you have 2 minutes left, I think, right?
Yeah, we'll see how long my battery lasts.
Okay. Okay. Just because you don't need that. Okay, I don't know what to. All right, I have to think on this a little bit. I don't know whether it's better. No, it is better. Yeah, you're right, because there have been. I have, I think, 13 Pitch Wars successful queries, and I might have seen one sex worker query. So that you want to, when you have a big thing like Pitch Wars and an unusual thing like sex worker, you leave with the more interesting one. Because honestly, what Pitch Wars is a nice thing, but the book is the thing with that. Whereas the sex worker thing is, like saying you're an undertaker or you were, Harry Truman's hairdresser or whatever. In which case you've been dead for 40 years. What up?
Just trying to remember how much hair Harry Truman had.
Enough.
Okay. Did I mention I have my first appointment with a therapist for my ADD on Thursday?
No.
It's exciting.
Thanks.
Okay. This is okay. This you would want to put above, because if they don't want to deal with that stuff, you tell them before so you can read it, and that way they don't go, "Oh God, sex work! I can't do this." And there is an age who would probably do that. In fact, I should tell you who not to query after this, because I have a list of people for various reasons.
Nice.
And I'm pretty sure one of them is a very hard pass on this.
I figured a decent number would be.
Well, yeah, but this one has been on. She brags about her work with fringe groups.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't need to say anymore, do I?
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We have to lowercase this. Format text capitalization lowercase. There we go. Okay, there we go. And that's okay. So personalization. Okay. All right. That's that. That. Do we need contemporary for romance, or is it just romance, Morgan? Remind me. You said something like that about this 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe before.
Yeah, contemporary romance is the subject.
Yeah. Okay. Are we getting to the first page or not? No.
Tell me.
Did you want us to start the first page or not?
Yeah, really briefly. I have to go really soon, but
okay. Tell us
you
when.
Don't have to in that case.
We can save it for next time if you like. I don't care. Whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Do it. I love
ready
that.
to take off your headset?
Oh, you're gonna do the thing? Oh God.
I'm gonna do the thing. So first page, Fantasy Gentlemen's Club. The neon sign flashed across the approaching exit like a dare. It cast the whole highway in a fever dream pink. And before Grace knew what she was doing, her turn signal flicked on and she was in the far right lane. The engine purred as if her Camry flat out refused to stay the course to her parents' driveway, as if, unlike Grace, it had somewhere to go. Okay, she couldn't blame the car. For weeks, she'd clawed at options, found nothing, and now the siren call of that sign was kindling hope in her. Hope or horniness, whichever, didn't matter. It was the first positive thing she'd felt in days. Her life had been going so well until it had all just stopped. She'd been surprise fired by her barely paid internship at Force Marketing and couldn't even make her 4 roommate rent. Breaking up with the city, with the life she wanted, stung worse than being dumped by a mere person ever could. Through it all, moving back in with her parents and becoming a millennial failure cliche had seemed inevitable until right now. She sped down the Fantasy Gentlemen's Club exit lane, her heartbeat outpacing the flash of streetlights overhead. All she needed for a second chance was some money for short-term rent. She could eat at community kitchens and food banks until she got another job. It wasn't like she was fired for being bad. No, even in Jim's stupid ham sandwich smelling office at the very end, he said her creativity made her stand out. Her copy was brilliant, but he wasn't confident she would do whatever it takes for Force Marketing. He'd tented his fingers, raised his eyebrows, looked at her down his nose like the friggin' boss baby, and claimed she didn't have a winner-take-all instinct. Suck on this instinct, Jim. Soon she'd be back in the city with an even better job, better apartment, better self, better everything. Visions of fanned out hundreds and red lipstick spurred her down the ramp. All she had to do was use a fake name, keep her head down, and explain the teensy gap on her resume as a live, laugh, love trip. It was incredibly doable. She could totally do this. My signal works consistently.
This is really good. I know I marked a ton of stuff, but it's, other things I mark up and it's more me than original page.
Oh, thank you. I do have to go in like a minute.
4 seconds. Yeah. Well, you had to go 10 minutes, 13 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. There's a couple of uneven spots, a couple a verb thing or two. But Morgan, for what I usually do to pages, this is damn near unmarked, right?
I mean, you look at it and you can read it without all the editing markup.
Yeah.
You saw your query by the end.
Yeah.
So we worked.
It was so short.
Last time. We worked at a page last time, and it was a good effort, and there were things you could do with it that could change, move things around and such that would generally be covered in a craft class. This isn't that.
Last time we took a comparison novel of something from one of these specific comps for that book and saw how they started to change the
concept of
tone to match.
Yeah. Along with the fact that we had exposition that just was uneven.
Yeah.
And this isn't that. So I think if the rest of this book is like this, you're very close. The query was a lot closer than most are. I would say a day or two of work, you're probably there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look at the synopsis because it's, disaster fire sauce.
It's a mess. No, please don't look at it.
That's why I saw a synopsis and I'm like, okay, up again, away from the badness. And I'm not going to, because you don't want to see it and I don't want to see it if you don't want me to see it. Yeah. What is that? Okay, that's done. Okay, stop. Oh.
Okay, I think we're going to say goodbye to Fiona now before her.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Okay, we're going to get to what's her face now, right?
Yeah.
Jessica's. Okay, we have the 2 for Jessica.
Okay.
Bye, Fiona. Good luck.
So if you share the link with me.
I shared both of them with you. Hold on, let me do it again. Just do one thing first to make sure this thing is going. Let's not do that. Okay, let's just. I put it in. Yeah, it's if you check. Yeah, it's in on Facebook in the chat thing.
Okay, it's in the Facebook chat.
No, that's a different. No, that's a different. Hold on. Well, I got yeah. Okay, so this is this. I shared it with you already, but I'll do it again. That's number 2, and this is 1. I'm gonna do it right now. I just gotta do a thing with the stuff, and there you go. And that should be both of them.
Okay. Should I be cutting out any bio information?
I believe that she's fine with everything. Can we get her on the screen?
Sure. Just one moment. Find the correct tab.
Yep.
Okay.
She should be here.
Fiona's off, but not off. I'm gonna kick her from the studio. She can always come back in.
That's fine. Whatever. I mean, she had to be not here now, so I don't think she's gonna object.
Right. No one else has come in yet.
Okay. Is Jessica?
She said me? Question mark. Yes, we are ready.
Yes,
for
you.
Jessica.
Yes, you. Let's go. Let's lovingly burn your thing, lady. Okay.
I'm just gonna up the font real quick so it'll share a little easier.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So the thing we're doing here, we have 2 versions of a query, or 2 queries for the same book. Now I have seen this happen a lot, and the reason is, I think here's what happens with me. Okay, I think I have a great way to do this now, and I do it again, right? Because it's easier to do it a new one than it is to fix an old one. And what you get a different approach is the same stuff. So I've seen this over and over and over, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna try to combine them where we can.
Can you link the StreamYard to Jessica?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just get the thingy and get the.
Sure.
Let's copy address, and that's Jessica. Where are you, Jessica? Okay, that's not gonna be it. That's gonna see if I can do this. And
whoops, let's not confuse her.
Facebook. Let's do that, and let's message. That's not going to come through. So, okay, Jessica, I just sent you the link on Facebook in chat, but because notifications don't work real well for unsolicited DMs from non-friends, you might not see a notification. So you might have to go look and say, hey, is there a notification? Which point we'll see it.
Yeah, look
okay, there you are. Got it. She got it.
Request.
Yep, she got
okay,
it. She just replied to me, so that's a helpful thing.
Okay.
Yes, I was very happy about that.
I am going to share the whole window.
Oh boy. See, I made them 2 files so we can show both of them at once.
Let me up the font a little more. That looks readable.
Okay, I'm going to start doing stuff to one of these.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, we never need this. Ever, 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 ever. I know how to do this. I'm not going to pull the language right now, but I have a resource for this. I'm just going to graphic this because I can just it'd be something like for example, is a way you can do it. And then you'll want to link as well because you want to make it as easy for them to be impressed by you as possible. Is Jessica not? Tell her to get her on here.
Oh, okay. One moment,
Yeah.
Jessica. Bringing you in. Are you ready?
I need to,
Give me a thumbs up.
Talking to the humans is the thing. There we go. Hello. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
All right. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Thank you for being
So,
brave.
As I said, yes. Thank you
Well,
for,
thank you for doing
I promise
this.
to be kind to your verbs. Your nouns are another thing entirely.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Rip it to shreds. To be completely honest, I'm so
That
tired.
is, yes.
Just rip it to shreds. Do what you got to
Yes.
do.
Okay.
I got 2 likes in DV Pit.
Okay.
Awesome. Congrats.
And an editor wants to see it as well. So I'm like, dude, this is my
we
shot.
can look at, I have stuff for that. I literally I just was doing this. In fact, let me link you to What is it? That. This is one of my resources, which I developed for things like this. There you go. Morgan, I'm going to send it to you so you can put it on screen for anybody who wants to see it. Because we don't have enough things on the screen right now. Okay.
Now, you guys will notice that I, after my query was destroyed on Reddit,
yes.
I changed I did come to my senses and I changed the genre that I'm pitching from YA to middle grade. And I have been cutting down my word count, so that will change. The word count.
Because otherwise it's
for that.
The Successful Careers database will help you some with how long it can be. As well, there's other. I mean, you can find data on that stuff. It's not hard. But yeah, just so we have it out there, 93,000 for middle grade is also known as Get Rejection City, and that's fine to know. You know, it's because you have to. But you can't. I'd rather have to cut words than add them because adding words is called padding, and no.
Right.
Okay, this is your 2 is your new one, I believe. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The one with middle grade with 12-year-olds is
headphones
different.
off. Okay, I'm going to read it aloud for people who are listening instead of watching. And Patrick can't do 2 things at once. So, Dueling Destiny is a 93,000-word middle grade fantasy. HarperCollins senior editor Jane Smith liked this in DV Pit. Pitched as Aquaman meets Rhea and The Blood of the Nectar, this is the first book of a duology with further series potential. Despite their bronze skin and hair of pure gold, identical twin brothers Kobe and Riley are normal 12-year-old boys from the Hawaiian Islands. When a monster drags Riley into a puddle on the floor, Kobe jumps in after them and finds himself in the depths of the ocean in the middle of a plot to kill him and kidnap Riley. Saved by a mysterious man who claims to be an ally of Kobe's family, Kobe is taken to the underwater city of Zaire, a society that settled under the ocean after the quote-unquote Great Flood. There, Kobe discovers that he and Riley are the first twin princes of Zaire in thousands of years, leading enemies and traitorous allies to either try to kill the twins or use them for their immeasurable powers they will soon gain. Sella?
Yep.
Zaire's millennia-old enemy now has Riley and wants Kobe dead, but not all is as it seems. Dark secrets lurk in the shadows of the Celian cave. And if the prophecy is true, Riley could be used to destroy not only Zaire, but all the submerged societies of Arion. With 2 weeks until the twins' birthdays, time is running out. But to get Riley back, Kobe must learn the sword to survive multiple assassination attempts and make an impossible choice. Rescue his brother on a mission doomed to fail or save his people from a terrible fate only he knows about. In the end, he could lose everything. I hold a BFA from the BFA MFA Creative Writing Program at the University of North Carolina in Wilmington. I taught English and studied in Japan for nearly 3 years. For over 6 years, I have been a freelance copy editor, proofreader, and fact checker for a few different international article writing companies. For the guidelines, I have sent you blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much for your time and consideration. You follow directions. It's assumed. You don't have to state it out. So, okay. 1 moment. Waving it.
The infamous sign.
Okay. All right. So the big thing. Okay. This right here, you see that verb right there? Mm-hmm. I would like for you to tell me where else in the query either Kobe or Riley intentionally does anything. This is a problem with a lot of queries. You can get away with it in fantasy sometimes. Okay. Mm-hmm. The bulk of those queries come pre-pandemic. Okay. Mm-hmm. Usually you want to show them doing stuff. Which is often just a matter of refocusing on the plot because there's tons of stuff they do, right? It's just a matter of understanding that you're presenting them things happening to them, right?
Right.
And you need to basically focus. And I think that's true of both of these. Let's see.
So two things kind of stick out to me at first. 93,000 for a middle grade fantasy is
We've already
hard
she's
sell.
changing from young adult to middle grade. We already discussed that. Yep.
Sorry, didn't realize.
Yep,
and also one book at a time, not two. So
yeah, sorry. It was originally 118,000 words, and I cut it down to 95,000 words for YA. And then I realized that a lot of my tropes and the age of my characters were middle grade.
Yeah.
So that was hard.
So you thought you had cut enough words, and yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I do understand that it's a hard sell. I am trying to get an 8 in front of that number as much as possible. I think I can get it down to 85 with some of the plans that I got going on within the next couple of days to a week. I'm giving myself a few days before I query those. At least I'm going to go ahead and do my first 10 pages or whatever it is, 3 chapters or whatever it is they asked for, and then I'll get rolling, cutting the rest of it. But I do plan on having an 8 in front of that number as much as possible. Because 9 is not gonna sell, and 8 is gonna be tough. So
9 is pushing it for YA fantasy. So
right.
Okay, let's focus on the stuff we can do, because I can't change the word count. And I don't want to, because that's not my.
It's gonna change.
No, that's fine. I just
I'm gonna put. I see a little more agency in the original query draft, so I'm gonna intersperse the paragraphs here and see if I can draw out agency, and then cobble something together from that. Because usually the way that I would fix an agency problem like this is to have you rewrite the thing, or to give you like some scaffolding ideas for sentences. Because I can't write a query if I don't know the book. I don't want to know the book, because the more details I have, the more I bog it down in stuff.
Right.
Okay. We don't have your synopsis. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So Kobe. Okay. We have. Okay. Here's the thing. This is your entire first sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a household name. You can't do this. So, another big thing here. How long do we wait to find out their names? If I were to show you a dozen middle grade or young adult queries, almost every single time you'll begin with this and then this. So let's just do that, okay?
Jumping in real quick, I noticed there's a difference between draft A and draft B. Are they 12 or 13?
That was the difference between the YA versus middle grade. I decided to de-age them to 12.
Sure.
So they are now 12. The other one was intended for YA, so I wanted to make them a little bit older, 13 turning 14. And they were just like, no, it's dead. So I was like, okay, fine. So I de-aged them.
Okay.
I need a thing they enjoy or do or whatever that is thematically relevant to the plot, the stakes, stuff like that. Within the first year of the book.
They love going to the cove. They love going into the ocean. And in the beginning, the ocean, going to the cove, it almost kind of turns into an addiction because their bodies are changing. So they end up having to go in order to feel, at home kind of thing.
They like swimming or surfing?
They love swimming. So they love just swimming, watching dolphins, hanging out, sunbathing, that kind of thing.
The reason that looks so long is as fun as 18. If you draw it out, if it's like 12, I would think it's.
Do we want to set a location? They feel most at home swimming near the cove.
Jessica, is exploring a good verb for you, or would you like it something else?
You can change it.
Go ahead, change it. Go ahead. That's right. You can't. I need to give you access to this. Can you, in that DM we have thingy there, can you give me your email so I can give you access to this and you can change it yourself? Because you know the book. I'll just and Morgan, can we get one just because Sandra's gone? Because we already have it down here in the other one.
Oh yeah, one of ones. I was on my phone. Sorry.
There you go. Then we can focus because okay, that's and then.
Sorry about the background noise. I
can't hear it, so.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I like that.
Just destroying things and having a great time doing it.
I have 3 kids. I'm familiar.
I stopped at 2. I was like, I can't.
I couldn't get at 2, and I have 3, and one of them is Evil Knievel, but shorter and female. I had to rescue her from my roof this year.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's gonna be fun.
Yes, fun is the word I'm using. The alternatives are
how to get on the roof. She'd do that.
Is that one the one who's been swimming in the neighbor's pool?
Yes, she almost drowned. Yeah, fun times.
She has no self-preservation.
Her sense of danger on our best day is optional. She's terrified of the elevator, which is the wrong thing to be scared of.
Escalators are more dangerous.
Don't tell her that she'll love them. Her sisters are terrified of dogs at all, and she walks up to them like, "Hi, you're taller than me. That's okay." Anyway, we need
swimming is good.
What's up?
Swimming.
I put swimming in.
Yeah, you put swimming in. That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Give me your email so I can give you access to this thing so you can change stuff yourself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of people doing stuff themselves when they have an idea.
Okay.
It usually takes them about a year to understand that fact. Morgan is just barely getting it after. But if you say something instead of typing it, then only bad things can happen.
But then you say, "Oh, that's a noun. Get out of here."
And I change it, and instead of you saying nouns, anyway. Okay. You did thing. You did that. Okay. A second. We do that, and then this, and then that, and then this is the thing.
Into or through a puddle?
Hold on a second.
Oh no, into. Yeah.
All right. So the problem we have now, and it's fine because we can fix it. We have an introduction to the fact these people exist. Mm-hmm. Then the thing happens. In what chapter of that's an idea. Okay, first off, this covers only the first third of the book, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay, that's close enough. How far through the book does the monster drag Rayleigh into the puddle?
First chapter at the end.
Okay, cool. That's fine. We need a transition thingy between cove and a puddle on the floor because we're not at the cove for this sentence, right? For the monster dragon.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. One day before, as there. This is placeholder because as there, blah, blah, anything. If you were listening before, as anything, something's about to change, and that's telegraphing. But we need to just get this, the concept of transition there.
One day as their this will, if I tell you this will be too much into plot points, you'll yell at me.
I would rather have clarity.
Okay.
Is it essential to the plot?
It is, because the reason why they're not at the cove when he gets snatched is because they're grounded for going to the cove. So they've been banned from the cove because when they go and then they come out again, they start to feel strange. They start to feel like fish out of water.
Literally.
Jessica, this is my type it sign language thing. Do it on there. Don't tell me. Tell them.
How do I
type it? The words you used, lady. You used them so well. It was a sentence and everything. It had verbs. I loved it. Morgan hated it because it was no nouns. They coved. You turned a cove into a verb. It was wonderful.
What did I just say?
You said all
They feel like fish out of water. Okay. Okay. So they feel like fish out of water when they're out of the cove. Right? They feel like fish out of water when they're not there. That's where in the first query, when they said when they're not in it, I said clasp, but I meant collapse. But his lungs start to, kind of collapse or whatever. It becomes like an obsession that they must go, but their parents don't want them to because they don't want them to feel bad, and kind of they fear it's dangerous for them to go to the cove at that point. So they basically banned them from going. So they're on punishment and in their room, kind of just chilling.
Do the brackets.
Okay.
I love you talking, but I love your typing more, especially when you fill in holes so I can get, things and stuff.
When they feel like fish out of the water when they're not in but say they know they're affecting them. So they ban them.
Okay. In what how is the code like? Is it, you said something about this, but because you said it, you didn't type it. Something about some bodily change thing or something, I thought.
Yes. So when they're 13, their body anatomy changes and they grow gills. They don't know this. And so they have no idea that this is a thing. They think they're just normal kids, but they're actually from Zaire, which is a city underwater. Okay. And so their parents, however, they know. So they don't want them to go to the cove because they know that the water is affecting them earlier than it should because, their body is ready to change on their 13th birthday.
Okay, let me see. Harming them.
Mm-hmm.
It's still vague, but it's just placeholder text.
So they banned them. Yeah, you're right. There you go. One day as they're in their room.
Don't need it.
Oh, okay.
Because they could be in their room, they could be at a stall at a grocery store. It doesn't matter.
All right. Okay. Good.
Unless this is a portal fantasy in which their room is the magical thing that happens, right? Don't need.
Yeah, they get pulled into the puddle from their room.
Right.
But that's the portal could have been anywhere. It's not, essential to the plot. Yeah. And sometimes I wonder why I put it in their room in the first place because it has caused more problems. But it's there, darn it.
Okay. So do we need to know that? Okay. I simplified here in the ocean because if you're 12 and in the ocean, it doesn't matter where you are in the ocean, it's suddenly
yeah.
Or for almost any, I'm not Michael Phelps, so me in the ocean suddenly is, oh God.
I'm thinking that the cove, at least that I see, is kind of like a little small and closing. So it's not like crazy waves.
Right, but the ocean is something without rocks that you can hang on to.
Right.
Okay, so let's see here.
The cove itself has tons of rocks.
So I kind of hate the word mysterious. And
you can totally. You can even cut that entire part about that guy because he's not. I feel like it gives a vibe that he's shady, and he's not shady. He's like one of the heroes of the book. So
okay, yeah, good.
But I say mysterious in the tone of Kobe doesn't know him, so he thinks he's shady. You know,
in the book as he's introduced, does he seem shady?
No, he saved Kobe's life, and then but he's mysterious in a way to Kobe because he's this,
he doesn't know him, but he's not
golden warrior guy. Huh?
City. Fine. Okay. Flood. I'm gonna do that and that. Okay. So,
I like that. That they worry that the cove is harming them because that is literally how they kind of frame it.
I thought maybe they knew what was happening and they're like,
they do. The parents know for sure.
Okay,
you could even say worry. You could even replace worry with no, but I didn't want to get into
it. That gets a little hinting at as right. We start with kids who are 10
as far as that.
And if you have the parents know the kid thing is harming them, and it's water that. There you go. Yeah.
So this is from the kids' point of view. So maybe their parents are convinced the cove is harming them rather than because we don't know what the parents know, but
as the kid, we don't know what the parents know at all.
The parents, they're convinced it's harming us, and that's stupid.
And for all the reader knows, this could be, you're swimming too much, you should be reading books more. Like that's
right. Exactly.
And it's also a very typical thing for kids to get upset about. They don't get to think they want to do that seems healthy. I mean, it would be like, no, stop riding your bike so much. Like, why?
Right.
I added verbs.
Yay.
What? You added verbs? Morgan, did you want a hug?
No, but I might go grab one more piece of chocolate.
Oh, chocolate's good.
Either way, frankly, same chemicals.
They sneak off anyway.
I added a verb, and now I get a chocolate truffle. I think that's how the math works.
Okay, we have a plot here. I think we have to leave him back. We have 2 weeks till twins' birthdays. Time's running out. Is the birthday thing a big element of the stakes here?
It is in the way that it's their birthday that triggers the change.
The thing happening. Okay, can we put the birthday thing back in the first paragraph there? Because we need that information. It's the thingy. It is very deeply a trope that that trigger the birthday thing happens, but that's the book. So.
Right. Yeah, I didn't want to, because that is a kind of a played out trope. I didn't want to put it forefront because of that, but
it's the plot.
It's the plot.
And the thing you can't do here is if he has it, it has to happen, right?
Yeah.
You can't have it be a surprise, right? It has to. The stuff has to be organic to the plot.
Right. So it banned them from going until their 13th birthday.
And furthermore, something I have seen on Twitter many times is those plot tropes have been used by people who look like me, right? How many Black birthday trigger fantasies have you read?
Absolutely none.
See?
None.
It may be tired for people this kind of, but and for other groups too. I mean, I'm writing something that's a treasure hunt, and there are lots of treasure books out there. None of them are gay. Not one.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
we get to use that stuff too.
Right, exactly.
Okay, excellent.
So they do sneak off anyway, and then Riley ends up having, you know, an attack worse than any attack that he's had. I don't know if that's important to the story, but just to give a little bit of context, they ground them after that, and that's why they're in their room when they get attacked, when Riley gets attacked.
Okay, that's that. That's such a good. Okay. New sentence there, because that thing by itself is plenty of exposition. Soon they will be. Are they like gonna inherit some throne thing as princes?
No, they actually do have an older brother, and he will be the heir to the throne.
So the reason I ask is these people either use them for immeasurable powers. So what powers, you see that sentence, what powers will they gain that they
so they will gain, nobody knows actually what kind of powers they're gained, but there's a prophecy that says that because they are the only twins to ever be born in more than 3,000 years, there is a prophecy that says that they will, you know, gain these immeasurable powers and either destroy Arion, which is the big
all the underwater things?
Yeah, the whole thing. All the nations in there. They will either destroy it or command its future. So yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Hi.
So who says he's a family friend is stronger because it's got a direct verb says rather than who
instead of claims. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like claims suggests
shade.
I wasn't going to use that word. It's not really my word to use. I learned that I saw that started being used about 7 years ago, and I was like, okay, this is on Twitter, and all these profile pictures have a certain commonality, and I'm not that commonality, so I'm going to let these people have this thing.
I'm going to let you have that word.
Only bad things can happen, right? Shutting up is my most valuable skill.
We're in a safe. You can use shade if you want to use shade.
I'm not. It's like I've been invited to a barbecue, and I'm not bringing potato salad because only bad things can happen.
Please don't add raisins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You can add raisins if you want to.
I don't know. I don't like this. No. The point of potato salad is potatoes.
It's a common or it's a joke from
No. They added to the coleslaw.
No, it's potato salad.
Coleslaw?
It's potato salad. I promise it's potato salad. There's a whole
I know it's a thing, but raisins I've seen in coleslaw, not in potato salad.
Morgan,
I don't like them either. They don't belong in it either.
No, they don't. They belong in cereal, and that's really about it.
Or cereal, bagels, cookies,
or boxes of raisins.
Or boxes of raisins.
Yes, right. Yes, or in the sun.
You can put them in your yogurt.
Yes, yes.
Oatmeal.
But potatoes belong in potato salad.
I do like the yogurt covered ones.
Oh yeah. That's what I was thinking about when I said yogurt.
That's approved. Yes. This is
My son
keep
likes
them away
those
from the
kinds.
tuber section if they go to the store.
Yeah. So,
Okay. Okay.
are we getting a little too much into synopsis territory?
I don't know. See, I've got to combine these things, lady.
Okay.
So number one, as we said, what is the difference between a synopsis and a query, Morgan?
Character and stakes rather than a list of events, and also not using more than 3 proper nouns.
Ish. So the query is only the first third of the book, and it's supposed to sound like the book. The synopsis is just supposed to be what happens. Whole thing, right? So is either of those things a concern right now, Morgan? You know the answer. He doesn't like it.
What?
The answer is no. The answer is
no.
See, the query and the synopsis doesn't need to sound like the book query is supposed to. Okay, so let's see. Let's do.
Of course, better synopses have a little voice, but it's hard. It's hard.
It's secondary to everything.
Yeah.
I don't even focus on honestly.
Most important thing.
Okay. This being hunted by thing. In the middle of the plot to kill him is like I feel like entire shelves of books. It's sort of like you ever see a Netflix blurb for a show and it's like nothing is as it seems, and that could apply to every show.
Right.
This language here just is sort of floating to me. Morgan, do you agree with me that this language is vague?
I find vague language like that can work in blurbs, but it can't work in queries.
Yeah, well, that's because a blurb is supposed to be vague anyway. A blurb starts off, a blurb for the back of the book starts off specific, gets vaguer and vaguer. Until the end is like, will a thing happen to whoever? And it's like, characters, anybody?
Because with a query, you're trying to show the agent how your thing is both like and also different from others in the same genre. And if that sentence could be in 5 other queries, then
bad idea. Yeah,
it's not specific enough usually.
So should I use more of the verbiage of assassinate?
That's still
eliminate.
Okay, so a good idea to do center the characters and what's happening, what they're doing, what's happening to them. Let's see here.
And finds.
Let me just do this. Does that help
you? Yeah.
I'm just brainstorming aloud. Sorry.
And if he doesn't know, that's fine. But being hunted, like there's lots of stuff that. This is essentially world building in telling me this thing right here. Because it could be a squad of dolphin assassins. We don't know. Or it could be,
Now so what did happen is that as soon as Riley was attacked by this monster, the monster is called a Croth. You don't have to know that. But once the monster attacked Riley and drug him into the puddle vortex in their room, Colby jumped in after them, and he was trying to chase them when another monster of the same type grabbed him and immediately tried to eat him. And so that might help.
No.
There we go. No? Okay.
Reason why.
Okay.
Whose agency there?
Oh. Good point. But my thing is you took out the depths of the ocean, and I think we're at the bottom of the ocean, not in the middle of the ocean. Am I correct? I think we're near that city, and I think it's at the bottom.
We're kind of, when he gets attacked or when he goes in there, he's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but yes, closer to that city, closer to the depths of the ocean. Is where they came out at. Okay. So, but he can't, of course, when all that's going on, he's just seeing ocean. He's not seeing any of that.
So is it the ocean floor or not?
No, not ocean floor.
Okay.
Just
okay. So just ocean for that first one. Okay.
Yeah. Finds himself in the
middle of the ocean. whatever.
Yeah, in the middle of the ocean. Honestly, middle of the ocean would be great.
Well, we had that, but it's
Does that work?
all right. I can put it back. All right, hold on.
Being hunted or being attacked by?
Attacked would be better.
They seem hungry. I think they missed lunch.
Yes, they did.
You're not yourself when you're eat a Snickers, Morgan.
Exactly.
Not with raisins, please. There's no raisin Snickers. Even white people haven't. I don't want to look it up. I would bet. Can I say this properly? Okay. The Japanese have done things to Kit Kats.
They have all
I don't know if you're
flavors.
familiar with this. They have many flavors of Kit Kats. And I'm wondering if they've done the similar things to Snickers, because if there's anybody who was raisins in Snickers, it would be.
I honestly, I mean, I was over there in between 2009 and 2012, and they had so many things over there that was just like, I mean, they had green Kit Kats, they had yellow Kit Kats, they had, I mean, I'm just like,
They had fried
all
Kit
the
Kats 10
colors.
years ago. How wonderful.
Yes, that was 10 years ago. So they've had 10 years to figure out how to make Snickers different colors. So
How do we inject a raisin into Snickers?
I would not put it past them. If it's cute, it'll happen.
This is blueberries, by the way, not raisins.
Blueberries also don't belong in potato salad.
No. Blueberries and potato salad would get so smashed. Like raisins are at least hard to get into, but a blueberry would just become wet, right? Like it would be like, if you put, no, not gonna use that one. Like if you put a raspberry in, it would just become wet. There's no consistency. Okay. So I took the prophecy sentence and I made it clearer and such.
Okay.
Apparently, the two Snickers Japanese flavors are Snickers Peanuts and Oats to give it more texture, and Snickers Otona Bitter, a chocolate covering this bar, giving it a bitter yet sweet flavor.
Yummy.
So.
Why would you do that to food? It's like the chickpea. The people have been trying to make pasta out of everything except grain, and we tried chickpea pasta, and oh god, no! Don't. It's gritty, and it just no. There's a reason that God invented grain. I say that as an atheist, so you know I'm real bad. Just no. We don't need to do this. It's food.
Traitorous allies or manipulative allies?
I think traitor is a stronger word, but that's not the book.
I'm aiming for accuracy.
Yes, traitors I like traitors because there is a traitor within Zaire that's feeding the enemy intel about the twins and have been for like years.
Okay. Here we have, I'm going to be writing a thing probably this week on what I call the Netflix effect. This line that I've highlighted here is used in Netflix summaries. It could sound like anything.
Right, yeah.
Be specific. Because you're trying to impress the agent with how much stuff you've thought of, right?
Hi, baby.
I think we could just skip straight up to if the prophecy is true.
But we already said all this stuff.
Right.
Okay. Do we need anything from anything in this? Is anything in this useful? No?
Not really. We could just stop.
Bye-bye.
I mean, save it for your blurb, but bye-bye.
But yeah, this whole thing here is, that's why I did that.
Hi.
Okay. Oh, we already have, okay.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm gonna see if this. Okay. We have this. Okay. This sentence we don't have entirely in the stuff above. Do we need the people have been plotting to go since before they're born? Is that essential to the plot or not?
Ooh, let me see. Hold on. Which part? This part? The
part I highlighted.
Okay. So
you see the thing where I highlighted a thing there?
So it is kind of essential to the plot because that is why they sent them there in the first place, is because they sent the twins there on, to land, if you will.
Right, yeah, to hide from people who were trying to kill them.
They were trying to kill them even when they were born.
So this is that thing in fantasy where someone, like bad people, were trying to kill that, the nascent
chosen one,
and they're sent somewhere else for safety until they have matured and they're ready to fight the evil people. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now we delete this part and just put that there.
I think that we need to put. Okay, so here's the problem. We can't put it at the beginning because that ruins the reveal. We can put it.
I mean,
Put it in here and edit this because this can be shorter and more whatever.
I would put it in place of the blue section.
The blue section?
The part I highlighted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, had been trying to.
Because that says the same thing in a different way, including they've been doing it since they were born. Or, their mama got pregnant. Okay. Who knows?
That's at least better. Okay.
Wait, I didn't know it was twins until she was at least partway along.
So we just turned that entire paragraph of stuff into 9 words.
Right. The only thing that makes this slightly different is that it was a different person, like the leader of Sela, this place down here, was the one trying to kill the twins before, but then he had a change of heart during that 12-year stint that they spent on land, and now his son is picking up where he left off and trying to kill him. But that doesn't really fit.
Is Sela the country or the person?
Sela is a country that is Zaire's nemesis country.
Just
if you will.
Confirming.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're okay with the 4 proper nouns of the 2 places and the 2 brothers.
Okay.
I because you have the 2 main characters, and I think naming who they're at war with makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't know if. Nah, I'm not going to ask because I don't think it matters to the thing. It will be a dual POV, but only because the twins get separated. Only for that reason. It just kind of lets you know what Riley's getting into in his area, but it really is kind of about Kobe's journey to try to get Riley back. Even though we get into Riley's head, in his situation.
Yeah. So I'm a little stuck. I'm stuck on the word trying. I'm almost thinking plotting makes more sense because nobody can use the destructive power until they come into it when they're 13.
Right.
So nobody's been doing that since they were born. They've only been trying to kill them since they were born. So but plotting works for both, I think.
It's also a stronger verb, Morgan.
Ooh, I can do it.
Yeah, you are verbing today.
Hooray, Morgan used a verb.
Yay!
Have some more chocolate, Morgan.
I've
teach your brain to like verbs.
I had all my chocolate for the day. Unfortunately, I'm done.
That is a real pity. That is like.
It is. I haven't even had.
It shouldn't be a thing. Chocolate. I mean, that should. Can we ban finite chocolate and raisins at the same time?
You know,
Especially-
we're ambitious, but I think we can pull it off.
I really feel like we can have a portal fantasy in which the kingdom we go to has no raisins, number one. And number two,
there are no
infinite
raisins in my
chocolate.
kingdom.
I like it more.
Zaire has no raisins.
I like
Rest
it.
assured. They do have chocolate.
I'm sorry.
See?
Did you just say a portal into chocolate?
Hey!
Yes, I did. Morgan, if you have any raisins, then throw them out now. I'm just telling you, they're not going to survive. It's like, you know, at Halloween, you hit the box of raisins, you're like, oh God, why?
Why?
It's like the people who offer toothbrushes, like, this is the night on which you ruin yourself. Like, this is your cheat day on a diet.
Or
which I'm trying to
apples. I love it
supplement.
when they put apples in the bag.
Oh my God.
That's
Or
the best.
Chick Tracts are another fun one. I never saw it, but people have talked about it. It's just, no. Please just try not. No, I don't want your religion in my anything. Or your raisins in my anywhere.
Right.
Okay.
A friend of mine refers to oatmeal raisin cookies as fool's chocolate.
See, I like those, but that's because I like raisins and cookies. Where they both, it's okay.
Oatmeal
It's okay.
raisin cookies are that's like a family
And
favorite.
it's so wrinkled from the heat that you can tell if you're looking carefully, which you should, because anyone can do anything to food.
Do you know what is also delicious?
Yes,
Oatmeal
but not.
raisin chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, I haven't tried.
How do you have room for dough? Anyway, it's like when you have 8 toppings on a pizza. Like, where's the cheese? That's just.
I like cinnamon cookies.
Is that a baby? Oh, hello, child.
Baby. Hi.
Okay, you're fine.
This is
Hello.
my 17-month-old. This is Zoe.
Hi.
Hi.
Huh?
Hi. You
Yeah,
hate
nice
raisins?
people. They're helping mommy get an agent. Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Can we clap? Yay. No clapping.
Do you want to do? Hey, what's the kid's name? Or no,
Zoe.
you're not sharing it. Zoe. Hey, Zoe, do you want to do a high five?
High five, Zoe. High five. You want a high five? Oh, there we go. She tried. She tried to do the picture.
Good job. All right.
Yeah.
I thought that sometimes when my kids do a thing on the video, they then feel like they've done something, they can go. Which I say not because I care, because you would like to go type with both hands.
Yeah.
Hi, baby.
He's like, hi.
Wait. How old did you say this one was?
17 months old.
She's 17 months. She's
She
pretty.
can eat raisins.
She's good.
Is that February or
Yeah.
February of last year?
I'm glad that my kids aren't out here doing that, because
Because speaking of twins, my twin's daughter is just about that age. She was February of last year.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, we're there. She's February. My son is also February. He's 5.
Okay.
And sleeping. But yeah, February is a thing.
Yeah.
my 7-year-old. Yeah, that's wow. Okay, I thought 5, 7. I think yes, that is because the youngest one's 7 turned. She was born in February 7. I'm not going to say that. In February, let's go with that. Presuming. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you.
My son is also
first
February
daughter,
7th.
my sister's first daughter was more trusting of me than the time I had put in because I looked just like mom. This one thinks I am the most suspicious person ever. I am so sus because I look like mom and I'm not, and I'm totally trying to figure her out. So like last time I was at their house, she took one look at me and started crying. So we're now going to do like semi-regular brunches so she gets a little more used to me. The first one was not in her house and not like 2 minutes after she'd woken up from a nap. So it went much better. No crying while looking at my face.
Oh, how is this?
I mean, to me, that section says, here's the training montage.
Yeah, it is.
There is
It's also
definitely a
part of this list. It's
the montage. Sorry.
Where's that movie? Is that the movie you're talking? Yeah, I think that's Is this the training montage? Yeah. I was it was very like speaking to a certain understanding Okay. This is okay. We have.
I always debate how in depth to go when writing that training montage.
Right.
I favor telling the agent lots of stuff because anyone can be vague. But
No. I'm talking in the novel.
Oh, mine is pretty in depth in the novel.
Yeah.
You know,
just, I always wonder if it's a soggy middle and people don't care, but also people really enjoy how the magic system works, get things explained to them.
Right. Yeah, mine is a mixture of kind of like action because they do talking, but they do more like, you know, throw them into the fire because they only have a few weeks to get them ready.
Right. Yeah.
So that's you know pretty helpful.
Learning the sword in 2 weeks is a bit much.
It's not going to happen unless there's a magic system we don't know about.
You can hold it and point the stabby bit at them and learn a couple. Yeah, I
true story.
For a couple years.
I have watched some videos about the Princess Bride, and Mandy Patinkin and Carrie Elwes have that sword fighting scene, as you may know. They practiced the scene for weeks and weeks and weeks. And in the end, do you know how long it was? A minute. 5 seconds. No, and Rob Reiner said, no, this isn't long enough. We need to add stuff to this. And so they added stuff, jumping stuff and all this. And that's why the scene lasts more than a minute, because if you're doing it right, especially it goes really fast, right? But the faster it goes, it seems like it's not as much. So all the jumping, all that is to make it poofier. Which is
and all the names they call out are real fencing moves.
When I saw it the first time, I didn't think it was a big deal because I had no frame of reference for this stuff. But apparently, it's a big deal to have actual actors doing the actual fighting and not just have the back of Brad Pitt's head thrust with a sword. Anyway,
I'll be right back.
Sure, take a minute.
That's Bob. Who is that person in the back there?
To get Riley back? What about to rescue his brother?
Sorry, baby.
I think it's a little more.
It's also very disruptive in concept.
Okay, I am back. She is hungry.
Okay.
Did I not type the word two?
That's fine. You typed it before then. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I cut it the wrong spot. I see what I did.
So.
Yeah, well, it is essential to the plot. The biggest thing is for him to just learn to protect himself, to stave off the assassination attempts. Right. Because there's just essentially one big one in the kind of second act, or the second act at the beginning of the second act of the book. Is more of where that assassination attempt is. It kind of is the thing that changes the situation. So it goes into the second act at that point. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to put it if we're just talking about the first third. But it is that first attempt of assassination with the sea monster that was an assassin. That was the first assassination attempt.
I see.
Right.
Okay.
From the same person. So I don't know if that makes it more, necessary to put the fact that there is multiple attempts on his life.
Yeah, it
and
helps.
he has to train in order to protect himself.
Do we need to get Riley back before the 2 weeks are up? Is something going to happen at that point other than...
At that point, both Riley and Kobe will be 13 and will gain their powers. And when they gain their powers at 13, then they can use Riley for whatever it is that they want to use Riley for. They're also trying to kill Kobe before that day so that Zaire doesn't have a twin to use.
But if they miss the deadline, they still have a weapon.
if they miss the deadline, they still have a weapon, and then the countries will basically, how they fear is the countries will basically destroy each other, because a twin on each side, it's equal force, and so
assuming Riley will do what they want, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. Assuming that Riley will do what they want, or they make him do what they want,
right?
By any means necessary. So they have ways to make him do what they want. They're not going to use that in this book.
Does he know how to use his powers the second he comes into them?
He doesn't, but he'll have them, and they'll be uncontrollable. So he will have to learn to control them, but until then, he's just basically a firecracker, just ready to go off. Let's just say he gets fire powers. He'll have those fire powers whether he can use them or not. So he'll just burn anything, by accident.
How do you burn stuff under the ocean anyway?
Exactly.
Carefully.
Exactly.
Lava
powers.
Sodium.
Magma? No, that would be under the crust. Under the crust.
That's actually a good idea. I might have to credit you with that one and steal it. Well, I guess if I credit it, I steal it. Borrow with the.
I was a huge geology buff. Everybody made fun of me in college for taking rocks for jocks, but I was very into it. I was very excited.
It's so fun.
I love plate tectonics.
Yes. Volcanoes was always my favorite geology.
So in my day job, I play with airplanes, and we have this simulator. And in the simulator, you can turn on different weather events, and one of them is wildfires. So I guess that's like for simulating flying in California. And one of them is volcanoes, and they've never let me turn on the volcanoes setting.
Oh, that's mean.
And every time
my husband would love that job. He'd love that job.
I don't actually fly anything. I'm ground control stuff, but yeah.
But he was still, he can't fly. He's too tall. He's 6'6". That's the only reason why he's not a pilot.
6'6" is a tight fit for.
David Robinson was in the Air Force, and he joined the academy, but I think he was barely short enough, and then he got too tall, like completely too tall, and I forget exactly what he did, but he ended up at 6'11", I think, which is a little tall for airplanes. And I think that was so 6'6" is that's.
It's a bit much. That's a tight squeeze.
That's more of a don't squeeze because it's not going to work. Because you can't compress the spine like that; it'll kill you.
No. I'm just thinking that in a private plane, maybe you could take custom back seats.
You could. So something that tall people do if they have lots of money, is they have the driver's seat set a kind of far. Yeah, I saw. I forget which basketball player it was in a van or whatever, and the seat was like 2 feet back, and I'm like, okay, you're a center.
I talked to my tall friends about how much of the percentage out the front windshield is sky versus ground, and it is a very different number than I'm looking at from my 4.5.
Oh, a half. Oh boy.
My identical twin is 5'6". That half-inch matters a lot. A lot. Just saying. I blame scoliosis, but anyway.
When the wife and I we drive the same cars, and when I drive, we used to have a small car we both drove. I just get that seat back 5 inches. I'm not huge, but like her legs are tiny.
Trains is stronger than learns.
Yeah.
Verbin in your face.
Yeah, now that takes you, that assassination attempt right there takes you right up to Act 2.
Okay, we can go into it, but not a whole lot.
Yeah, that's it. That's as far as I would be okay
Yep.
with.
That's
right there.
the document, so that's over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just do that. Now, there are two kinds of stakes. I don't know if I've given you this talk before, or you've seen it, whatever. He has to choose between a thing and a thing, between one thing and one thing, or he has to do a thing because he has to. Which is
right.
Which is your book?
So he will have to decide. He actually is presented with a choice about whether or not he is going to, because he discovers a plot against against Zaire. So he has to choose whether or not he is going to go and save Riley or go back and save Zaire. And so
why is the 12-year-old going to rescue his brother by himself? Why does
that's the book.
Well, because they actually don't want him to. He's sneaking out. He's being rebellious. There is a plan to save Riley that the grown-ups are doing. And he is supposed to stay safely in Zaire, in the kingdom, until they have gotten Riley and come back. My man is taking matters into his own hands and is going to save his own brother.
Okay,
and
thank you. There was a book I read by an agent, actually, and I really enjoyed the first two halves, and then they pressed the 16-year-old son of the rebel leader who they had just joined the rebels into following in his father's footsteps as the leader of the rebels, even though he had no tactical training because everybody wanted him to lead. And I was like, no, maybe no.
Yeah, I did not kill off any parents in this book. So all the parents are still alive and telling the kids not to do stuff, but they keep doing it anyway.
Right, exactly. Not
this is more realistic.
Children don't listen, particularly when it's convenient to the plot that they're not listening.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I thought we determined that number 2 of yours doesn't listen either.
No.
It's not a habit thing of hers.
Gotcha.
No, they
none of my kids listen ever.
Except for summons to dinner.
They listen when it's inconvenient.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a word that I don't want them to say, okay, my 5-year-old.
My friend has a technique. Whenever you accidentally curse, yell out puppies or kitties afterwards with the same amount of oomph that you gave to the curse word, and they'll get distracted, and sometimes it'll work.
Honestly, why can't my kids ever copy something smart that I say? It's the only time. It's why can't
Daddy said this is decentering?
I hit my cerebellum or something like that. Why do they have to copy the F word? Or
Daddy said that's a common splice. Yeah.
Stupid or something.
My 5-year-old, when she was 3, started sounding like we do when we're upset. And we both come from journalism, which is the second highest swearingest profession behind the military, I guess. And I go from 0 to fuck that fast. And when you hear it as a kid and you have no reference for anything else, so my 3-year-old, fucking hell. Right. And if you hear that from a 3-year-old, is super. my 9-year-old is playing Roblox on my phone, and any little thing, God damn it, what the hell, you asshole? And she goes back to school in a month. We're gonna have so many meetings with the teacher. Did a thing happen that I didn't see?
I'm filling in this.
Okay, good. Yeah.
They have to hurry to rescue Riley before Stella can
Yeah. I do brackets a lot because I don't want to build too much sort of conceptual without having a direction. Because as I said to Morgan, like queries, writing these editing them is like a 16-lane highway, where you can any exit you can go from Miami to like Portland, Maine.
Right.
Being in one lane changes 300 miles of your direction. So I try not to bracket a ton, because if it's a happy thing or a sad thing, that affects the language so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's there. Okay. Okay, instead of saying against, can we...
To destroy Zaire?
There you go. Yep. See how much more specific that is?
Yeah.
Okay, defend.
If I could spell, that would be great. Get it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I was already... Yeah, that's why I did the thing.
Okay.
When it's a verb, I'm happy to type it. It's a noun. Morgan is your girl. She's not even phased by it anymore. She's just... Hey, Morgan has the view there.
Him doesn't work because the previous verb is Sela. Or previous noun, that one.
You would track nouns.
Okay.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
My weird moving it to the stakes.
Hold on. What's happening now?
I did horrible things.
We don't have to put with a sword if you don't. If you think it would be, as he trains to defend himself.
Do we need the sword or not?
No, we do not.
There you go. I deleted a noun, Morgan.
Yay!
Yay!
Because I'm like,
noun verbs. It really is.
I mean, it's nothing but swords, but at this point, you're probably just going to assume that they have swords.
Well, I don't care, honestly. Like,
unless it doesn't necessarily matter if they have.
Unless there's a fight over it.
I think they're using muskets underwater, but.
So my concern would be if they have been taught all their lives that swords are some bad thing, and now he has to violate his morals or whatever, then I care that it's a sword. Otherwise, it's a thing. It's like he drove a Camaro to the grocery store versus a Subaru, and right, does it inform the plot? Nope. He's just learning to fight, right?
So tear apart my new stakes sentence.
Well, it's got nouns, and that's going to happen.
Zaire's plan to say this, but doesn't fill him with confidence. At this point, it doesn't fill him with confidence, and he what's a way of saying that he just plans to go and get him himself.
I mean, that's the choice, though. That is the choice he's making, whether or not to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, he learned. But on his way, you can say on his. It gives too much if you do that.
What is the choice he's making?
Choice he's
right now.
Right.
I had thought that it was that plot to hurt Zaire versus his brother. Was that?
Right. So that is the choice he's making, but that gets into third act territory.
Oh God. Okay, no.
Yeah.
That's, we can't do
I'm
that.
trying to figure out what I can make the choice be that's not third act.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought the end of the first act was him choosing to leave Zaire to save his brother.
That could be it. So he has to decide, whether he's going to choose or whether he's going to allow his, allow them to save his brother, or he's going to go get him himself.
Right.
I that could be the choice. Saving
Well,
his brother. Right. The other one is way higher stakes, but it's third act territory. Like you don't even get into that until the third act.
You can go up to the first half of the book.
Yep.
So if it's going past that, then it doesn't exist in a query, honestly.
Exactly.
I'm sure that somebody has gotten a rep by going that far in, but I'm not trying to play that game.
Yeah. Nope, I'm with you. So basically at that point, his biggest what do we do is that, trying to decide. Oh,
yeah, I
do it.
Okay,
Type it. Type it.
Okay, so type it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Type
it. Morgan, shut up. Let's stop. There you go. Type it.
Kobe. I don't know how I forgot this part. It adds another pronoun, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna kind of vaguely
just draft it, and we'll edit after it's found.
Okay.
I can't edit unless it exists. Oh, that's a reach. But we'll deal with it.
Right.
That's a reach.
You
can do that. Here's how you do that. Okay. If that's the prophecy thing, right? Pair that wise one thing with the prophecy language, and that way you're not introducing a proper noun in the stake sentence, which is death.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll put the the wise one says the prophecy up there.
The wise one prophesied, blah blah thing, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, that's the wise one prophesied that. Okay, so he decides to save Riley himself, but the wise one who foretold the prophecy. If I could spell, that would be great. The wise one who foretold the prophecy tells that his mission is doomed to fail. Now that's the big problem, is that he's going on this mission and the wise one calls him to her, and specifically kind of to tell him that the mission that she foresaw him going on would fail. He'll see him, but he won't save him. And so at this point, he's trying to defeat destiny itself.
Is this do I have that right?
So
the stuff I crossed out, is it all right?
Let me see. The wise one prophesied that he would fail. Yep. Thank you for cutting.
Hey, what I did is I cut and I just put verbs in there. Right? Prophesied fail. That's it. 2 verbs. Get that whole 3 lines. See? I have had so many people. I'm like, just use a verb. I'm like,
oh, okay. I don't know any verbs. I'm a writer.
I verb over them, and eventually we're just do it. And they're like, oh my god, verbs! And I'm like, yes. Morgan, one day I'll get you too.
So at this point, so he must choose between going to save Riley, which is a mission doomed to fail, or save Sella, which is
what? Why is he saving Zyre?
Or save, exactly. Save Zyre.
Just put it in there.
So now he must choose whether to go into Sella
Use him or use his powers. I'm sorry, I jumped up.
Oh, sorry. Now he must choose whether to fail. Continue a failed mission or stand aside. Oh, or
Yes. Do it. Verbs. Yes. Stay.
Stay in.
Verbally proof.
Where must decide to continue on this one or stay in Zaire where he is a sitting duck essentially.
That's not a choice.
I know.
Yeah.
So basically the situation is he
or stay in Zaire and trust strangers to rescue his brother?
That's plot element introduction. We can't do that.
Okay.
Right. There's a third assassination attempt. The last one is basically an attack on Zaire to try to get him because they orchestrated him to stay in Zaire.
Okay. What about or trust the wise one and stay in?
So, or trust the wise one and stay in Zaire. Continue or trust the wise one and stay in Zaire where it's not so safe.
Do we need to know that? We already know that there's been an attempted assassination.
Yeah, right.
We don't, the lack of
right.
safety.
No, we don't necessarily need to know that.
And lose his brother. Yes.
Right. And risk losing his brother.
Is it only
what that is that
doomed mission not failed.
Yeah.
Doomed mission. Okay.
It hasn't failed yet, even though it's promised to.
Doomed mission, yeah. And stay in Zaire and risk losing his brother or just lose his brother? What do you think?
I mean,
lose is stronger.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it seems like either his brother will be killed.
Anytime you can take the certainty out of a thing, it loses power. Just that's a semantic thing.
All right. Okay. So yeah, that's.
Now, what we have is, remember I said that the only thing that they did was jump into water.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot more now, doesn't he?
Huh. Right.
At the beginning, we had all things happening to him.
Yeah. He jumps into the water. That was it. Now we have they're in their cove, sneak off, preparing, jumps in.
Yeah.
Discovers trains.
Nope, discovers not intentional. Discovers is like wonder. It's not an act. Intentional.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're still at 369 though.
That's fine.
Has to hurry or just hurries?
262. What are you talking about, lady?
Oh, I did the
pitch.
Yeah.
Why did you just include like War and Peace while you're at it?
So has to hurry or hurry?
I would say hurry. Must hurry.
Has to hurry conveys urgency. Hurries conveys action.
Right.
But he's not acting.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah. When it's a verb, yeah, you're right.
So instead of has to, should we put must hurry?
No, that's deck chairs.
I
Okay.
love must. Why do you hate must so much?
What do you save? Let me show you something, all right?
I thought must is a one-word version of has to.
You save a character. See that right there? I said, let me even less. You have that right there, okay?
Yeah, but has is a helping verb
Characters.
and must.
You want to do it, then do it. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm
I
just
I
saying-
didn't know whether has to or must was a stronger thing because I always think
I
must
think must is stronger than has to.
because like
I've
it's has
seen
to,
those,
needs to, and then must, right?
I thought so. Apparently not.
Like he's the guru, so I'm gonna let him do what he does.
I don't see a big difference.
Okay.
A lot of times it's really how it reads.
Mhm.
Right. I feel must works really good in fantasy.
Try it and see how you feel, all right?
But it might be also the difference between like historical or second world fantasy versus something more modern.
It's not.
Must feels, reads
The
like
only place where I would say must and has to have a significant difference is in the voice of historical fiction.
Yeah.
which
where you would be dealing with also the difference between will and shall. And that's niche and not what we're done with.
That's kind of what I was indicating
I
when
got
I
5
said
minutes, by the way.
It's,
We haven't eaten dinner yet.
oh dear. It's midnight. It's past midnight here too.
See here, I've been eating for an hour. I'm good.
Over here in the West, it's
I got
like
snacks
9
before
p.m.
this, so
Wait. Is this dual point of view?
It is, but it's not. It's more Kobe's story.
Okay. Especially
but it's only dual point of view so that the reader knows what's happening to Riley while he's there. And he does have his
I am
own
going to
arc,
suggest,
but still.
Jessica, how many thousand words do you spend on that minor perspective? Because that might be how you chop that word count. And then you can build the other stuff that happens in dialogue or whatever.
Right. Yeah, it is. He has his own arc that does come into play a lot. Because while Kobe is trying to get to him, he's trying to get out and get to Kobe. So it's like they're both paralleling each other about how they're trying to get to him. Because Riley thinks that he's saving Kobe. Kobe thinks that he's saving Riley.
You can't. That's harder to toss.
I can't cut that. I do have things that I can cut, but not.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, you know the book. That's
fine. So, okay.
Trust me, I tried. I have cut elements like all the I cut a lot of my world building things, which kind of sucks, but it had to be.
Okay, we're at how many words here? Count is 262 is still long. We can chop this next time if you want, or now if you. I'm fine, but you have dinner, and Morgan is gonna pumpkin.
That is okay. I have a really good set of bones to work with, and I think that I can probably, tweak this and all that kind of stuff. I'm not exactly sure, like, for example, how it may be super important to say they have bronze skin and gold hair. Maybe not.
It doesn't repeat.
Huh?
It never comes up again.
It doesn't.
It does not repeat. So that's something that we can, definitely cut for sure. Because it isn't essential to the plot. They will get that in my opening pages, but it doesn't necessarily, they don't need it as far as like
No, Morgan, do not do that. Do not do that.
They feels like I'm confused about if they is parents.
No, I know. I have to decide whether that's We can do that sentence work later.
Sure. Okay.
Because Jessica, have you eaten anything in the past 2 hours?
No.
I
haven't eaten anything all day. It was a busy day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wow. If I were like that, I'd be even harsher on Morgan, which I do lovingly. It's a noun-verb thing is our whole thing. It's it's part of my charm.
Oh,
But you can't.
I totally get it.
Your thinking is not as good when you don't have food. Your brain is 3% of your body mass and 20% of your sugar use.
Which is probably why I'm quite sure that I'll be able to
shop when
so
you're.
What I'll probably do is I'll probably take what we have here, rework it a little bit, and in a few days I will post it on the Facebook. And then see from there if you have any
if you haven't gotten it down to sub 240, I'll because at this point what we're looking to
you want it down to 240. That's my count.
I think 240 would be easy because we haven't what we did in this session was to combine the elements of two of them. But for example,
so like things like one day would be able to go away and like things like that. So
the family friend doesn't appear after that second paragraph.
No, and he is a huge character, but he does not matter to that point.
Yeah. So that becomes process language then.
Right. So would
Yep, that's pretty accurate.
Saved. Yeah. He saved. They sneak off. It could even be that they don't even like put they sneak off anyway. That's not necessarily crucial to the plot. So one day as they're in their room, because they
we don't have the Great Flood appear again.
Huh?
We don't have the Great Flood appear again. It might be huge step. 234.
Yeah. As they're preparing to sneak up. Oh yeah.
Because we need to see them being disobedient.
Yeah. They sneak off, and as they're serving their punishment for they're sneaking off.
Yeah, we don't need to serve. We don't need that. No, that's
okay.
Prepositions will bloat your word count really, really well.
Right.
So, because it's not one word. It's always two words because you got the preposition and the article. And
so I'm confused why it matters that they're the first twin princes in thousands of years if the wise one is like a recent prophecy thing.
She prophesied that they would be born before they were born. So in the book, she told them like 5 years before they were born that they would be born, and this is what they would do.
I think it doesn't matter that they're the first one in thousands of years. I think it just matters that it was prophesized when they turned 13, they destroyed the kingdom.
Yeah, you're right. That could be taken out of this for this purpose. Yeah, that can definitely be taken out.
Crown princes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Crown means they're going to inherit the thing together.
I would assume so, but yeah, they do have that older brother that's going to inherit the throne before they do. So their brother would be more of the crown prince.
They're just princes.
Yeah.
What is it? Dispatching is the wrong word. What do I need here?
Dispatching
It's
sounds
not.
good to me.
Dispatching is not the right. I just can't think of the military word for this.
Is
That's,
deploying.
that's the word. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
did stuff.
You did a verb, Jessica.
no,
I did a verb.
You did a
boom. Good
My
job.
hunger brain did a verb.
Make your shoulder work, Jessica. Make it work.
Oh God. So yeah.
Okay, I think there's a plot gap here.
Wait, are we present tense or past tense?
I can switch. I can change all that. It should be all present. The only thing that was past was, talking about what the people did do back then.
Right.
In that.
Why does him? Okay, we have a plot gap here. We have him deciding to say real himself. You and Morgan had talked about some aspects of the plot that I didn't hear because it was both of you talking at once, which is fine. I lived. But I think we have a gap in understanding why he had to decide to do that in the first place.
So the
Type it.
The grown-ups come up with a plan to completely oversimplify it. The grown-ups come up with a plan to. I know. I can't type that. Rawr. Okay, fine.
Use verbs.
He doesn't trust the adults' plan to rescue his brother.
I didn't know the adults had one.
Are they the rulers? Are they the?
Okay.
Yeah, his parents are the king and queen.
How have they been ruling from land?
Huh?
Carefully.
Have they just been sending missives or going on long business trips?
That's the thing. The people that he thinks are his parents are not his parents.
Don't get into that. That gets way too complicated.
I'm not going to get into that. That is not essential for the plot, which is why I didn't bring it up, or essential for the theory anyway.
It's. I mean, we have.
Let's see. Right. So let me see.
Sorry. Fading.
Whatever. Have some food, Morgan. I've been eating cake and blueberries. Which you'll note is sugar and sugar. You had a piece of chocolate and decided you couldn't have more.
Just before the stream, I had like a fruit smoothie. It was
so 3 hours ago you had fruit?
And bananas.
So you had fruit 3 hours ago, Morgan? 3
I
hours
am
ago, Morgan?
working on my snacking habits.
I see.
You are not helping, but I'm trying to be better about
again, 20% of your calories goes to insisting that nouns are the way to go.
And gerunds and prepositional
gerunds aren't you half of a tortoise. Morgan.
Who doesn't love a prepositional phrase?
Pick me! Pick me! Oh, that's a lot of process.
Yes, it is. So Stella challenges Zaire to a duel for Riley. That is a ruse. But they charge or they do that, but Kobe doesn't think that they'll keep their word if they return Riley, so he decides to go and save Riley.
That's late adjective. The trustworthiness of Stella introduces a plot element very, very late.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that.
You don't know it's a bad idea. Because
terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I gotta go.
You have to
go? We have to get up at 4 a.m. and we haven't eaten yet, so gotta.
Okay. Let's close this out for now. We'll finish in the group or some other way.
Okay.
Unless you're going to
But yeah, this one part really is the big kicker.
Yeah. Well, and that's the. I will see if I can fix it tonight once I take a break from this, because you don't want to,
yeah. It's like 12 o'clock there, isn't it?
It's 12:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Morgan is pumpkining.
I have to get my cat to the vet tomorrow morning.
Oh boy. So yeah, we can definitely pick this up
Who's
tomorrow.
that in your background?
I'll start to think about this too when I wake up.
Okay. Well, go have a lovely dinner. Everybody who stuck around or is watching in reruns, thank you for joining us. And thank you, Jessica, for being brave and letting us rip your works to shreds.
Thank you for doing it.
Put verbs on all of your nouns and make your 12-year-olds have adventures in the sea, which every parent should love to have their children read. Mommy, I can adventure underwater and fight things.
And thank you, Patrick, for sharing your expertise with all of us and fighting for those verbs. So thank you. We'll be doing this again probably in about 2 weeks. We'll see what our schedule works out to be. So have a great rest of your day, night, life, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.